Okay, okay, man. Ghost is on standby.
Ghost is on standby. What's going on, y'all? We are.
We live. We live. Damn, we live. Okay, shut up. Okay. I'll tell Matt. Okay, bye. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome
Okay.
back.
So episode 22. The date is, what time is it? We are at 2:16. The date is December 6th, Tuesday. Welcome back to episode 22 of Normal Guys Talk Sports. This is Matt Got Cameras, and my grandmother named me King Edward III. Welcome back. How you doing, sir? I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, man. We had our bye week.
Had our bye week last week.
AKA Matt was sick as hell.
Hashtag Matt was sick.
Matt ain't had no voice last week and come in. You know, hashtag Mac was sick as hell. But we are back here today, and we got a good episode.
We got catching up. We let's see. Last week we had the bye week. The week before I was in LA, and then the week before I was in here. So it's been 3 weeks since we've been in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. But
It's 3 weeks. Well, it hasn't been 3 weeks since an episode, but it's been 3 weeks
since your standard typical episode.
We had 2K on last week.
Yeah, shout out to 2K.
Shout out to my guy 2K
pulling
up. You know
Appreciate
what I'm saying,
you, bro. Yeah, no doubt.
2K pulled up, showed out. You know, he always got some crazy takes for me. You know, but shout out to 2K.
All right.
So before we started,
current events. Yeah, what's up?
let me see your Facebook.
Oh shit.
Because we got to get it right, people.
All right, we're getting live. We're doing so shout out to all our partners that help us do the show with we doing the Facebook. We got YouTube, we got the Twitch, we got the TikTok, we got the Instagram. So however you're seeing us, shout out to you, everyone at home. But I think we primarily catch us on YouTube. There we go. You got me on. Oh shit, you got me on right now. Check me out.
There we go.
Okay, check me out.
All right. So,
how you doing? No, we talking about
we can start off with our boy.
Shout out to
Prime Time.
one of the greatest defenders of all time, one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time, if not the greatest. So let's give him his props. Let's start
give Dieon his
positive,
flowers.
and then we'll pick it apart accordingly.
All right. So,
All right.
obviously, it's a huge story. Last week, Deion Sanders accepted a head coaching job at Colorado State University in Boulder, Colorado.
So there was some rumors that job offers was going to fly his way. In the sports world, nothing is forever, and he was with Jackson State University for 3 years, which is a HBCU.
Right.
Brought them a lot of awareness. Brought them a lot of good things. Won 2 championships and won over the hearts of a lot of people with that program and what they did. So shout out to Jackson, Mississippi. I've lived in Mississippi a few months of my life, so I'm fond.
What was you doing out there?
When I was after boot camp in the Navy, my school was in Mississippi.
Okay.
So I was there maybe 3-4 months, but it felt longer than that. It felt longer than that. It was about an hour away from Birmingham in Meridian, Mississippi. So I was in the 601 when I was 19 years old, and it was a culture shock, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Got me outside of, so like I said, leaving Sacramento, that's one of the first places I adventured and journeyed through. So shout out to Meridian, Mississippi, and the base there and all the people there and everyone I've ever been in the military with.
So, the big question that everybody wants to know, is this a sellout move?
Oh, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not. That's extreme.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm asking the question.
He's getting, to be honest, if you look at the comments, you look at this and that, he's catching it every which way. What I can appreciate about Mr. Deion Sanders is he's addressing things and he's giving you perspective, and and he's done a lot for the people, his family, a lot of positive things. Again, we're not talking about Jackson State University if Deion's not there.
Correct.
A majority of the people, but they've got again, they capture the hearts of people all over the United States, and it sucks to see. I was a little disappointed, like personally.
He was disappointed.
I mean, I'd love to see him there longer, you know, because maybe there was thoughts and plans of him being there longer. But again, he was there 3 years, won him 2 championships. They go undefeated. I caught some games, and shout out to.
So they went undefeated this year, and I think they lost 4 or 5 games the season before.
So shout out to Deion Sanders Jr., aka Big Deion.
That's Lil Deion.
I've heard him talk about he want to be referenced to Big Deion.
He the homie though.
He's a friend of the studio. He's been
For
there.
sure.
This was like at least 5 years ago. He was at the studio with Fat Boy SCC and remember them days. So this was at least 5-6 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, and then so he has his YouTube. So shout out to Well Off Entertainment. That's on YouTube. I follow it. I subscribe, and he captures every day, dang near every day, the journey of Jackson State University. You know, they've had friend of the studio Key Glock walk them out. Had friend of the studio NLE Chopper walk them out. A lot of pop culture, a lot of things. You know, I can't stress that enough. And you even see some of the people on ESPN, what have you. What Deion did for Jackson State University, what he did for HBCU individually and collectively, respectfully, you know, coaches ain't doing that in 10, 20 years.
Correct.
You know, so Deion, who could be sitting at his big old compound in Prosper, Texas, which is about 50 miles north of Dallas. That's where he built. You know, again, I've been by there maybe once or twice. People from there, football's real big all over Texas. You know, and he built a lot there. He built a community there. You know, throughout his years being a Dallas Cowboy and being here, and he could do whatever he want. He could disappear, never do nothing again. He could sit at his house, but he is. I feel, you know, again, it's bigger than football. It's bigger than football. It's bigger than football.
The biggest comment I see is just people feeling sorry for the kids who pledged
Some
because Deion was there.
Some are going. Some are going. We'll see who for sure. His son.
Well, yeah.
Son's quarterback.
Well, you'll know in the next couple of days because the transfer portal has opened, so you'll know who's trying to transfer to another school. Which is
a interesting dynamic to the college system, and is like free agency, if you will. It's like the offseason.
Do I think Deion is a sellout? No.
No. Let's never call that great man anything of that nature.
And at the end
like
of the day,
Deion Sanders is one of the greatest to ever do it.
If they was only paying him $500,000,
he won a Super Bowl with the 49ers in '94.
If they was only
shout
paying
out to Deion, man.
$500,000 out there in at Jackson State, you mean to tell me? I mean, at some point you do got to move up as a coach.
His contract buyout is $300,000, so maybe he didn't fully fulfill the deal, but maybe. And I also saw in the comments maybe the offers came sooner than he expected or would have liked.
It's Deion.
It's Deion, and Colorado, who went 1-11, offered him $5 million a year.
Yep.
Yikes. So, but again, what I appreciate, right when the news broke, first thing I did was look at the YouTube, and he addressed the team right after they won the championship.
Yeah.
Like, I took the job. Like, it was a recommended YouTube video to watch.
There's another video
outside of your normal. Never satisfied viewing.
And this last thing I'm gonna say
all of our
about
shows,
it,
of course.
But there's another video of Deion freaking talking to Colorado.
No, yeah, of course.
And,
he's already at the press conference. He toured
but just talking to the team though.
Oh yeah, the players. He told step up and step aside.
Yeah, he said
step up. Y'all MFs is 1-11.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come over here and say whatever I want.
Yeah,
I'm the coach.
He said,
and I'm getting paid $5 million to be here.
If you're salvageable, so I watching that, I was like, damn, this shit made me want to go work out or get up and do something. You know what I'm saying? Very inspirational. So
no, he's like, how do you say his son's name?
Shador.
So he's like, where's he at? He's like, stand up. He's like, that's your quarterback. Of course, he brought his son with him. Of course,
they happy about that though.
And his other son is a cornerback. I think he's younger.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's coming too.
He's coming too.
Let's get that out the way. Like, so I mean, he's done a lot, and I think he's looking at all angles. And And I'm sure he's trying to get his sons to the NFL.
Now, the only thing I will say is I hope that Deion leaves some sort of blueprint for Jackson State.
He did for them, and he did for a lot of other schools. And for HB, he gave a lot of awareness to them, and and the NBA has been giving out a lot of awareness to HBCUs past few years. So there should be more recognition and more players drafted out of there. It's happened. It's happened. So players, it's not like it hasn't happened. So players have been drafted at HBCU. So that's what he's looking to get, providing opportunities for others. So that is a man of the people. So no one should ever in their life disrespect Mr. Deion Sanders.
Mr. Deion Sanders.
So,
but yeah, we can move on.
All right, moving on. Okay, time check.
We 10 minutes in, my brother.
10 minutes in. All right, so we are catching up with all your latest and greatest NBA news. We're going to start from last week to now. Like I said, last week was a bye week, and I just had it.
A lot of good games last week, though.
No doubt. All right.
I was down there at the Mavs game yesterday, man.
Was you win or what? What do you mean?
I kind of went.
I kind of went. I kind of went to the Mavs game too.
I kind of went. I didn't actually go, but I kind of went.
So we're going to start from last Tuesday to now. So we have on Tuesday, November 29th, 2022, we had the Knicks visiting Detroit. The Knicks with the W, 140-110. Julius Randle, the high man, with 36 points. Then we had the Golden State Warriors visiting your Dallas Mavericks. Dallas won 116-113. Luka with 41 and Steph with 32. I was at that game.
Which one?
Warriors at Mavericks. So here I brought catch my drift. I brought Paul's family. Paul's side of the family. Yeah. So Paul's mama, Paul's auntie, Paul's granddaddy. So that was a little Christmas thing for them. So So good game. Came down to the wire. Luka at 41, but Luka's starting to get comparisons to the Houston James Harden. So that's kind of where they're at right now, moving forward. So then we had the Clippers visiting Portland. Clippers 118 to Portland's 112. And then Wednesday, November 30th, we had Philly at Cleveland. Cleveland with the W, 113 to Philly's 85. So we have Atlanta visiting Orlando. Atlanta 125 to Orlando's 108. Real quick with Atlanta, you see what's going on with them?
I didn't.
Coach sent Trae Young home.
Why?
We'll get to that in a second. Okay, that's a little prelude. Yeah. Okay, so then we have Miami at Boston. Boston with the W, 134 to Miami's 121. Jason Tatum, the high man, with 49 points. He's an MVP candidate for sure. Washington Wizards visiting the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn winning 113. Washington's 107. Brooklyn Durant, the high man, with 39 points. We have Milwaukee at New York. Milwaukee 109 to New York's 103. Giannis, the high man, with 37 points. We have Memphis at Minnesota. Minnesota with the win, 109 to 101. We had Toronto at New Orleans. New Orleans 126 to Toronto's 108. We had San Antonio at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma with the W, 119 to San Antonio's 111. We had Houston at Denver. Denver 120 to Houston's 100. We have Chicago at Phoenix. Phoenix 132 to Chicago's 113. The Clippers at Utah. Utah 125 to the Clippers 112. We had the Indiana Pacers at the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento 137 to Indiana's 114. Of course, I watched the game. Again, there's a little rivalry brewing between not a rivalry per se, but a rivalry brewing. With the Kings and the Pacers, because the blockbuster deal that we made for trading them Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and us getting back Sabonis. Majority of the fan base hated the move because Tyrese Halliburton was a fan favorite, but we got Domantas Sabonis, which was a two-time All-Star with the Indiana Pacers, and it's propelled the Kings this season. So I think we're both winners of the trade.
So y'all won Wednesday.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So, and then, so more on that later. Portland at the Lakers. Lakers 128 to Portland's 109. Thursday, we only had one game in the
Mavs
on television.
Take the L.
Mavs, right. Mavericks taking the L in overtime to Detroit, 131 to 125. We have Friday, December 2nd. We had Washington at Charlotte, 117 to Washington's 116. Denver at Atlanta, 117 to Denver's 109. Miami at Boston, Miami 120 to Boston's 116 in overtime. We have Toronto at Brooklyn, Brooklyn 114 to Toronto's 105. We have Orlando at Cleveland, Cleveland with the W, 107 to 96. Donovan Mitchell, the high man, 34 points. The Lakers at Milwaukee, the Lakers with the W, 133 to 129. I saw this game. Anthony Davis with 44 points. So Anthony Davis is putting some good games together. We'll get more on him later. Philadelphia at Memphis, Memphis 117 to Philadelphia's 109. We have New Orleans at San Antonio, New Orleans 117 and San Antonio's 99 with Zion Williamson with 30 points. We have Houston at Phoenix, Houston 122 to Phoenix's 121. Close game with my Filipino cousin Jalen Green with 30 points. We have Indiana at Utah, Utah 139 to Indiana's 119. And Chicago at Golden State, Golden State 119 to 111. Then we have Saturday, December 3rd. We had Dallas at New York with the morning game. Dallas with the W, 121 to New York's 100. We had the Kings at the Clippers. Watch this game, of course. The Kings 123 to the Clippers 96. Paul George and Kawhi was out. The Kings ran away with it from the beginning. It was in the Clippers home stadium, so that's downtown, and a lot of Kings fans there, and they were chanting "Light the Beam." Shout out Sacktown. We have Milwaukee at Charlotte. Milwaukee 105 to Charlotte's 96. Orlando at Toronto. Toronto 121. Orlando's 108. Oklahoma City at Minnesota. Oklahoma City 135 to Minnesota's 128. Houston at Golden State. Golden State 120 to Houston's 101. Portland at Utah. Portland 116 to Utah's 111. Then we got Sunday, December 4th. It's my mom's birthday. Shout out to my Sacramento queen.
Happy birthday.
There you go. It's Queen Conception. December 4th, we had Denver at New Orleans. New Orleans 121 to Denver's 106. Jose Alvarado with 38 points, Puerto Rican player. He had a bunch, like 8 threes.
Damn.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so Phoenix at San Antonio. Phoenix 133 to San Antonio's 95. DeAndre Ayton, he just won Player of the Week or Player of the Month, the Western Conference, so he had 25 points. Boston Celtics at the Brooklyn Nets. Boston 103 to Brooklyn 92. Jaylen Brown 34 points. Kevin Durant 31 points. Memphis at Detroit. Memphis 122 to Detroit's 112. John Morant with 33 points. Cleveland at New York. New York 92 to Cleveland's 81. Yikes. How'd that happen? Lakers at Washington. Lakers 130. Washington 119. Anthony Davis 55 points in that game. And former Maverick Porzingis had 27. Jeez. Okay, Chicago at Sacramento. Sacramento with the W, of course. 110. Chicago's 109. Sacktown's high man, Malik Monk. 20 points. We always have at least 6-7 players in double figures. Zach LaVine with 41 points with the L Chicago. And then Pacers at Portland. Portland 116 to Indiana's 100. And then Monday, December 5th. It's the last day. Yesterday. So today's Tuesday. We had the Clippers at Charlotte. Clippers 119 to Charlotte's 117. Kawhi came back after missing like 6 games, hit the game winner. So Kawhi's getting a lot of criticism and this and that, but he's come back from an ACL, so you don't want to rush that. You don't want to get him hurt all over again. So if he's not ready, he's not ready. Lay off Kawhi Leonard. Lay off Kawhi Leonard, one of the greats, top 5 player in the game.
Let that man rest.
There you go. Hit the game winner. Milwaukee at Orlando. Milwaukee 109 to Orlando's 102. Oklahoma City at Atlanta. Oklahoma 121. Atlanta's 114. I think that was the game with Trey. We'll get to Trey Young in a minute. Okay, and then Boston at Toronto. Boston 116 to Toronto's 110. Philly at Houston. Houston 132 to Philly's 123. Double overtime. And then James Harden came back in that game. And he missed a lot of shots, but he came back. And then so James Harden's back. Miami at Memphis. Memphis 101 at Miami's 93. And we have Phoenix at Dallas, which is yesterday here. Dallas 130 to Phoenix is 111. And last but not least, we have the Pacers at Golden State. Indiana 112 to Golden State's 104. Check out the Pacers beating the Golden State Warriors.
That always makes you feel, it always makes your heart warm.
Dang near. So if you want to pull the standings, we go over everything one last time, and we'll sum up basketball.
Damn, I got them pulled up. We got the Eastern Conference.
Got the Eastern Conference. We got Boston in first place.
All right, now watch out.
20-5. So a lot. Again, this team is fresh off the finals. Brought everybody back. Gave Al Horford contract extension. Jason Tatum is one of the best players in the league. MVP candidate. He's top of the East. Period. Milwaukee, the second seed, 17-6. Same thing with Giannis on the Bucks. You know, pretty consistent all year long. And Middleton's been out of the lineup a lot, so they're bringing back their second best player. And then was it just this last year? He wasn't. I forgot they lost to, but they didn't have Middleton, and hence they lost.
Right.
You know, whoever they played, I forgot off the top of my head. So Cleveland in third place at 15-9. You know, Cleveland, one of the better teams, period. You know, one of the deeper teams, period. 15-9. Check them out. They're going to be around all year long. Atlanta, 13-11. Okay, Atlanta real quick. So Trae Young's coming back. He's coming back off a
shoulder injury.
He was in practice. He wanted to do his rehab or whatever. And then coach was like, hey, you need to go in the drill. You need to
need to play.
You need to go in the drill, whatever. And then he's like, no, I need to do my rehab. And then and coach was like, he's like, you ain't gonna do this drill right here. You can stay home.
Ooh.
And Trae Young stayed home. So I think coach is out before Trae Young. You know, Trae Young is
coach is definitely
Trae
out
Young
before
is
Trae
not,
Young.
you know, he's not somebody jersey I'm about to buy. But you know,
he's
he
definitely
is their star
MVP.
player. He is their
Say,
franchise player.
He is MVP.
You know,
of the
he's
team.
you know, I mean, but Nate McMillan, you know, that's Mr. Sonic. He played with Gary Payton in Seattle. He coached
You gotta
Portland
respect that
a long
man.
time. He coached Indiana. You know, Nate McMillan's been around the block. You know what I mean? Nate McMillan played in the league. You know, he was on the Seattle Sonics with Gary Payton. So yeah.
Or is this something that we really need to be worried about, or is this?
I don't know.
Just,
I mean, coach
just
coach
two
might be out
groommen
the door
having a disagreement.
because okay, where the Hawks are at, they made the Eastern Conference Finals. And lost. I don't remember, but they made it. I forgot they lost to. But they went to the Eastern Conference Finals recently, and then 2 years ago, then last year fell short, maybe first round knockouts or whatever. But again, they look to get better, not worse.
Right.
So they go to the Eastern Conference Finals one year, the next year they're like in the first round. So then they're moving some pieces around. But again, somebody, you know, in the sports world, nothing's forever. So somebody may be on the move. John Collins is a player they're looking to trade. He's been on the trade block the past 2 years. So I feel they're just a tier below the top three teams we just mentioned. They're not in the same category as the Celtics, Milwaukee, and Cleveland, respectfully. Moving forward, Indiana at fifth place with Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton leads the league in assists with 11. You know, so he surprised team, but they still look to move Buddy Hield and Miles Turner and build the team around third-year future All-Star Tyrese Halliburton, originally drafted by your Sacramento Kings.
How these Brooklyn Nets doing?
Brooklyn Nets at the sixth seed with 13-12. We got Kyrie, you know, sightings. You know, we got Durant, you know.
Sightings.
Yeah, we got Kyrie sightings. We got the ones that was outside with him. We got the Israelite sightings.
The black
all
Israelites.
All that. He just got dropped from Nike officially.
Man.
Right. A lot going on with Kyrie, but he is back on the basketball court, and that is what we care about the most. Respectfully, and his well-being as a human being, of course.
Yeah.
And along with everyone else in the world. So yeah, Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully they can put some wins together. You can't sleep on the Brooklyn Nets. They're still contenders with them two on the roster, period. And if they don't move either one, who knows? We'll see at the deadline. We got Philly at seventh. James Harden's just coming back. Let's see if they could start putting some wins together. And because you can't slouch on them. Joel Embiid is neck and neck with Joker in the West. You know, some had Joel Embiid should have won MVP last year. You know, he was right there neck and neck with
That
Joker.
was right there.
He was right there with Joker. So Joel Embiid is arguably the best center in the league along with Joker. Okay, you got the AC Toronto. Again, you know, they won the championship, you know, with Kawhi and, you know, Nick Nurse and Van Fleet and Siakam. But they're in the middle of the road team. How long do they want to keep those guys, and when are they going to start over? Ninth, Miami. Same thing with them. If they don't start putting some wins together, at ninth place, they're going to look. They're going to make a move. You know, they wait for no one. They've won some rings. They'll pull big triggers to make things happen in Miami. You got Washington at 10, 11-13 to close out the playoffs, play-in seedings. Washington, you got the $250 million man with Bradley Beal. As long as he's on the roster, they have a chance to win games. He's one of the better shooting guards in the league, but if he's on the move, they will start over. And then outside looking in, we got the Knicks at 11th, 11-13. Again, you may have some players on the move there. Julius Randle, not RJ Barrett, but Julius Randle. Who else? Derrick Rose. Rose. Get Derrick Rose on a contender. Get Derrick Rose back to the Chicago Bulls, please. Get him off.
That would be a good look.
Get him off the bench in New York, where respectfully they may make the playoffs, but give Derrick Rose a return to Chicago or on a roster with a contending team. I love the Knicks, but they're not contenders moving forward. Chicago 9-14. Everyone's on the block there. Everyone's on the block there. They gave up a lot to put their team together, and they're not in top 4, top 6, and now they're sitting at 12. You got Charlotte 7-17. Again, Mr. Ball might be on his way out. They're not winning playoff games there anytime soon. Respectfully, Detroit 14th. You got them at 6-19. You got Cade Cunningham, former number 1 pick. He's been out the lineup. They still got some years away. Orlando, last but not least, they're 5-20, but they got leading rookie Pablo, with a big chance of winning Rookie of the Year. So going to the West, we got Phoenix 16-8. Again, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. Just like I said, just one player of the week, player of the month. So
hey, Chris, don't get distracted by Kanye, my brother.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wasn't even gonna say all that, bro. I wasn't.
He doing this thing this year.
I was not even gonna say all that. Yeah, shout out to Kanye and never living. I don't know. Just shout out to Kanye. Shout out to everybody. So yes, he did accuse Mr. Paul of something. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. Man, I'm shell shocked right now. Okay, so New Orleans at 2. Okay, they just went up there. They was 3-4 past few weeks. So New Orleans at 2. You got Brandon Ingram. You got Zion Williamson. I don't even have to look. I saw this recently. They're both averaging at least 30 minutes a game, and they're both averaging at least 20 points a game. These are two one of the better players in the league, you know. So let's see how far that goes. Memphis at 3rd. We got 15-9. John Morant, MVP candidate. Top 10 player. I don't know about top 5. Yeah, top 10. I love me some John Morant, but he's not the best yet.
He will be.
Yeah. Comparisons to Iverson.
He
comparisons to a young Westbrook. Okay. And then Denver at 4th. We got them at 14-9. You got Joker leading the way. You got Jamal Murray. You got Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon. I don't know. I think there's still maybe a trade away to legit being in the finals. And then
number 5.
Right. You got your Sacktown Kings at number 5. Putting a lot of wins together. We have Mike Brown. Early candidate coach of the year. No one expects the Kings to be where they're at. And then De'Aaron Fox is proven that he was the right choice, because again, De'Aaron Fox has started to get a lot of criticism. He was starting to get criticism past like a year or two, and Tyrese Halliburton was starting to become more beloved than De'Aaron Fox. And then we trade Tyrese, we get Sabonis. So we're now moving forward. If come February the Kings hang around where they're at, you got De'Aaron Fox is going to have a trip to his first All-Star game. So and Sabonis as well. You know, so again, we hang around 5 and 6. We got 2 All-Stars there. Shout out to Sacramento Kings. And then we got
we'll see what they do when this.
Hey, we're manifesting it. I said top 10 or bust. We're doing that. We're doing that. We're doing that. Okay, the Clippers at 14 and 11. Like I said, Kawhi coming back. Health and wealth to everybody, especially Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, because if either one's out the lineup, then those championship aspirations are out the window. Respectfully, shout out to the Clippers. And then we got Portland at 7, 13th and 11. How long is Dame? What is Dame waiting on? What is Dame waiting on? I don't know. I think they peaked because they went to the Western Conference Finals. They had Carmelo on the roster a few years back.
I mean, where does he go? What does Dame do?
Win a championship somewhere else. You get so real because if you hanging out the 7th seed the rest of your career.
Is it? You feel like? Do you feel like? Well, I guess that's an obvious answer though. You feel like his career's been wasted?
Not wasted. No, he's arguably one of the top. He's already top 5 Portland Trailblazer of all time.
Right.
You know, and 5 teams passed on him in the draft, including Sacramento Kings, and he's from Oakland. But you know, but again, he's getting the Kevin Garnett comparisons. He's getting the Allen Iverson comparisons. Greats. You know, he's already top 75. I don't know. I might have put some players above him, but he made the top 75 list.
I would put him top 75.
I would have put maybe
on the back end though.
On the back end, of course, but you know, honorable mentions left off the list. Yeah. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Dwight Howard.
I would put Vince Carter a lot higher though.
I think Vince Carter played 22 seasons.
Yeah, and just in terms of longevity.
So again, you know, shout out Dame. He's loyal to the soil, and you know, we love to see.
Can't wait for your next mixtape, bro.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think for Portland to get back to where they were, they got to make a trade or two, or Portland, or they got to start over in Portland, and Dame's got to look for a championship elsewhere. We got Utah 8th, 14 and 12, one of the surprise teams of the league. They were first for a little bit, but look for we'll see. I mean, we'll see where they're at. They stockpiled a lot of first picks. They didn't expect to be good, but we'll see how long they hold on. We got the Dallas Mavericks in 9th place at 12 and 11, and we got the Golden State Warriors at 13 and 12, and that closes off the playoffs play-in seedings if the playoffs started today. And then we got Minnesota on the outside looking in at 11th at 11 and 12. Karl Anthony Towns is out at least a month.
Damn.
So and then you show Rudy Gobert tripping somebody and he got kicked out of the game.
I feel like that team should be a lot better and a lot further along than they are.
Well, I mean, with Karl Anthony Towns injured, you know, that's so I don't see them. And again, my man Anthony Edwards is on the team, but you know, he's third-year player as well. He was drafted the same year as Tyrese. So maybe a lot of teams or a lot of people had them favored to make the playoffs, but the way it's looking, they're going to dig themselves a bigger hole 1 month from now until Karl Anthony Towns comes back. So we have in 12th place the Oklahoma City Thunder at 11 and 13th, young rebuilding team. And then we have the Los Angeles Lakers at 10 and 12.
Man.
Not that long ago, they were 2 and 10. So they put a lot of wins together.
I was about to say.
Last
look out now.
Their last 10 games is 8 and 2. They're weighing offers on not so much Westbrook, but a combination of Patrick Beverly, Kendrick Nunn, and their 2 first-round draft picks. So they're looking to build, you know, because Westbrook is still, you know, he's producing. Anthony Davis is having big games, you know. That's what they pay him the big bucks for. So maybe they're looking to add on what they got going. You know, Darvin Ham is doing the best that he can.
It's still enough time for them to turn around.
They are only 1.5 games out of the 10th seed to make the play-in tournament. And there's a whole lot of season left. We're not even 20%, 25% done with the season. So a lot of season left. So the Lakers, you know, may look to add on to what they got going and maybe not trade Westbrook now, today. So, and then we got Houston at 7-17. Young fellows over there, they might be in the sweepstakes to get the young French guy, 7'5", what's his face, respectfully. And then last but not least, we got 6-18, the San Antonio Spurs. They've lost their last 10 games, so they have a young player, Mr. Kelvin Johnson. He's gonna make his big money next year. They got a lot of young players. You give Popovich the number 1 pick, he gonna mess around and be there the next 10 years and build him the next Tim Duncan. But if they lose out on this draft, then look for his career to
fizzle out.
Yeah, fizzle out. He's one of the greats. So that closes out the West and the East. Shout out to the whole NBA, and more on the NBA next week.
As things develop and we get closer to the NBA playoffs, even though we're really far away from the NBA playoffs, but it's all good.
Time check 35.
35 minutes.
Any off the court basketball, or we're good?
Man, it's a quiet week in the NBA.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
People ain't getting thrown under the bus.
Yeah, we're good. We covered last week's scores and today's current standings. More on basketball next week.
But it's enough NFL drama.
NFL, we're ready. So
it's a whole lot of drama. I'll pull it up.
Okay, moving on to football. You want to start us out on the Thursday game?
So, Jesus. Thursday night, last Thursday. You said what? You hear my voice?
My voice too.
I still got a little bit.
Talking, man.
Yeah, that's why I said. Y'all thought I was playing. I couldn't.
Talking, man.
I needed a bye week. My voice was.
I lose my voice at work sometimes.
Oh, all right. So let's get it started. Right, so
Mamba forever. We're back in there.
We had the Bills trouncing the Patriots Thursday night, 24-10.
What is it more? The Bills are still the best team in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
That's debatable, though.
Debatable. According to Vegas got the Bills the favorites to win the Super Bowl. So I see them.
They definitely in the driver's seat for the 1 seed.
Driver's seat, 1 seed to the Super Bowl in the AFC. The Buffalo Bills. Shout out Big K.
The Steelers played the Falcons.
Okay, on Sunday, December 4th, the Steelers play the Falcons.
The only comment I have to say is we got the Steelers next week. You know what I'm saying?
Kenny Pickett, 197 yards. Harris, 86 rushing yards. And Drake London, receiving leader at 95. Shout out to the Steelers and Falcons.
We got the Steelers next week. Should be a good game. It's going to be a close game.
Both teams are.
And actually, I can kind of segue into this.
They're both 5-win teams, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit less about the Falcons, a little bit more about the Steelers, but Ravens, Steelers next week, which leads into the next game that I'm about to talk about here, which is the Denver Broncos losing to my Baltimore Ravens 9-10. In this game, we lost Patrick Queen. Damn. We also lost.
Going straight to it, man. He went straight to it, man. Right, I see it. Okay.
We lost Lamar Jackson. It looks
what
like
quarter?
It was the first quarter.
Lost Lamar Jackson in the first quarter?
Yes.
Yikes. Okay, bad.
So my takeaways from this game: the Broncos do have a good defense, but our offense was just abysmal the entire game. The only thing that looked worse than our offense was their offense. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the Russell train has like completely come to a stop.
Golly, bro.
This was probably like
they're
the first.
Eating a lot of money. What happened? Like, what happens to the Broncos?
I don't know, man. But the reality is they can't score him. I mean, they stuck with him for like 3 years at least.
Shit.
So, only thing that looked worse than our offense in this game was their offense. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Russell Wilson and their offense, man. It's probably some of the worst offense I've ever seen.
You got the running back cut. I mean, no, but he fumbled 5 times, so that's on him.
It's probably some of the worst offense I've ever seen.
I actually got they tight end is, but again, who's quarterback's favorite target? Tight end. So I have the Broncos tight end in my fantasy. He's decent.
I want to say they haven't scored a touchdown in 7 weeks.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's a wild ass stat.
That means somebody's losing their job.
I mean, the coach has been on hot seat since he went for it on 4th and 5 and whatever.
That was the first game.
Yeah. He's been on hot seat since game 1.
Yeah. So that was the first game, but my heart is I had a heart attack damn near watching this game last week.
Oh,
we won 9-10.
That's
scored the touchdown with 30 seconds left.
Bad. Okay, bad. I'm right, just losing the whole.
We was losing.
Out and
we was losing 3-9 most of the game.
The whole game, like what is going on? Right, I feel you.
That's why I was like, yo, the only thing that looked worse than our offense was their offense. So next game, Packers 28, Bears 19.
Aaron Rodgers is still showing he's he's Northern California Chico native. Aaron Rodgers is showing he's still the king of Chicago.
Yeah,
he talks so much cash every time he goes there, but he's won a lot.
I own
there.
you.
He's won a lot of games there. He was drafted in 2005, and he's won a lot. Again, he's played Chicago twice a year ever since he's been in the league. So of course he has, and in the NFC North that consists of the Bears, the Lions, and the Vikings, and
looking at the stats,
prevailed. They had Jay Cutler some years, Brian Urlacher some years.
They had some good teams.
They had some good teams. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers with the W. So
looked like Justin Fields couldn't quite hold on to the ball.
Justin Fields, passing leader, 254 yards.
The 2 INTs, though.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, bet. Okay, and then Green Bay 28 to Chicago's 19. Some little reports said, we want Aaron back next year. The whoever front office in the Green Bay, man, free Aaron Rodgers. Get up out of Green Bay, bro. Get up out of Green Bay. Come home.
I don't think he's going there though.
Come home. We need you. Come home. Somebody got to come home. Somebody got to come home. We got seats available. We got seats opened up on the bus. Come home.
He's still mad at the 49ers for not drafting him.
Do you know what? And then I also saw article. The reason the 49ers drafted the great Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers is because Alex. I'll send you the link. Like I read this. Like it said that Alex Smith was more respectful and what have you, and Aaron Rodgers just came in
a little cocky,
arrogant and cocky, and so that was the draft process. And
no, Aaron Rodgers cocky, bro.
No, from jump, and then even back then, even in 2005.
Yeah.
Even when your home state. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, come home. We need you. So you owe Green Bay nothing. You already won them a Super Bowl. You owe them nothing. They got rid of Devontae Adams. That should be it. He's done. So
next game.
Moving forward. Jacksonville at Detroit. Detroit 40. Detroit be putting up some big numbers. Detroit 40, Jacksonville 14. Jared Goff with passing yards 340 and leading receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Detroit winning some games. Okay, then next game got the Jets at Minnesota. Minnesota with the W 27.
This was a good game.
Minnesota 27 and the Jets 22.
So
Mike White 369 passing yards.
So are you hip to what's going on in New York right now?
The quarterback controversy.
Yeah,
quarterback controversy. What's his face got benched? Something, right? Mr. Our favorite Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson,
number 2 pick in the draft a couple years back.
Yep. So apparently, the team likes Mike White better.
How old is Mike White when he get drafted?
I believe they got drafted in the same draft.
That's wild.
Except Mike White was drafted a lot lower, obviously.
That's wild.
There's another crazy rumor going around that because Zach Wilson's family is affluent, like his family has money and things like that, and they're saying that someone might have taken some bribes in order for him to be in that number 2 pick position. I know it sounds crazy.
Hey, politics, man. You know what that kind of off topic. You know, that kind of remind me of. Like,
What?
I don't even know why. There's a documentary about the McDonald's monopoly pieces, and the mob was in on it, and all that. So you talk about, but when it comes to maybe these bets, these referees, this Vegas, this draft, there's some behind the scenes stuff going on for sure. Politics to the 9th degree.
Yeah, but apparently it's been going around that Zach Wilson is not quite a great leader in New York, and the team has been rallying around
young fella Mike White. No, and then even players that Mike White, this and that. Yeah, I've seen that. I can't remember exactly, but true that.
Next game. Oh, and shout out to Kirk Cousins. They're still winning.
And then shout out to the Jets coach, former 49er defense coordinator, Shula.
Next game, we got the Browns versus the Texans.
And this was the long anticipated Deshaun Watson Bowl.
So what did I say about Deshaun Watson coming back?
Shit. I don't remember what.
Not very impressive.
I mean, his first game back mid-season. You know what? It's the Browns. You know what? Like, it's come on. You had Cleveland 20. They won the game. Nick Chubb 80 yards. They won the game.
They won the game because the other team can't score.
I mean, respectfully, Houston Texans is bottom 2 team in the league.
1-10. They the team. They dead last.
Okay, well, okay, you said it. Okay, man. Okay, because them and another team has officially been eliminated out of the playoffs already.
Definitely.
Them and somebody else. I forgot who, but the Texans for sure.
It's probably the freaking Broncos.
Is it the Broncos? Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah. So
Deshaun Watson, 12 for 22, 131, and an interception.
They're running the ball a lot. They're not going to overuse him anyways, and he's not 100%. Give him the rest.
How is he not 100% if he ain't played?
He's
about 2
not game
years?
Speed, right? In shape. You could practice and this and that, but you got to be in game again. I feel. They play it out this year, whatever. I feel you can't fully criticize him on the field, ladies and gentlemen, on the field until like maybe this time next year.
They gave
they gave him the 3, 4, 5-year deal. That doesn't mean friggin' win 100% of the time.
It doesn't.
It doesn't mean throw 500 yards a game. It doesn't mean that.
It actually does mean that.
It does mean that, but no one's doing that. No one's winning all the games. No one's winning throwing 500 a game. Maybe Pat Mahomes a couple years ago.
I mean, for that much money, though.
For that much money, but it was a desperation move because you had to pay him that much money to attract a top 5 quarterback at the time before all his nonsense and before all that off the field stuff. He was top 5 quarterback statistically. And for a small market team that's been through 20, 30 starting quarterbacks in the past 20, 30 years, they had to do what they had to do.
And you know what I realized? I got it wrong.
And they were done with Baker Mayfield.
I got it wrong. The Ravens play the Browns next Saturday.
Got you.
I believe.
Right.
Am I wrong? Or
I don't know. Let's finish this week and we'll get to next week.
But.
You got a point. What's the point?
The point is, what was the point of all of this for you to give him all the money if he's not really even going to be that much better than Baker Mayfield was?
That is how much money you make?
Who?
Deshaun Watson, $200 million?
Let's look.
Because I have to say it. I have to say my quote with this number.
Hold up.
$230 million.
Hold on.
That is the $230 million question.
5 years. $230 million with a $45 million signing bonus.
You know why they did that though?
So they wrote him a check for $45 million.
Here, sell some jerseys. Get some. Go get everything worked out. We got better facilities in Cleveland than Houston. Come on.
Pay all your victims off.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Did you see? And then they had like 10 of the victims at the game. Come on, ice.
I ain't gonna speak on that part of it,
Yikes.
but. I'm just like, damn, bro. So this is crazy.
They said the lawyer bought 10 of the victims and put him in a suite, bro.
He just being disrespectful.
Yikes.
Jesus, he getting another $40 million next year. $46 million next year. Man, there's so much money.
Right.
Straight $46 million every year. Look at this. 46 million, 46 million, 46 million.
They tired of him. Again, before he got there, statistically, he was top 5 quarterback. When was the last time they thought they was getting a quarterback that great? It wasn't Baker Mayfield. It was supposed to be Baker Mayfield, but it wasn't. And then what's the one that was the loose cannon before him? The rich one from Texas. Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel's family. Somebody told me that.
His family got that oil money.
I met somebody. He said he went to college with him. He's like, yeah, his family got money.
I used to see.
His family got money.
I used to see Baker Mayfield in the club, bro.
Right, of course.
I used to see him
Of course.
out here in these Dallas streets.
Yeah, of course. All right, so that's that. All right, so next year, okay, NFC East matchup. Your Washington Redskins football team Commanders at the New York Giants tied 2020. Tyler
the
Henneke
plot thickens.
with 275 yards and Terry McLaurin 105 yards. I got my Redskins jersey here. Shout out to Robert Griffin III.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. Oh yeah. With the NFC, yeah, it was hard fought game. You know what more? You know, you better to tie than lose, I guess. But the percentage, neither team. Like I said, a tie is better than a loss. Yeah, and that's the way you got to look at it, both sides. But again, they're still neck and neck at the NFC East. You know, but arguably the best division of football this year has been the NFC East, and with 3 to 4 teams in that division potentially making the playoffs in the National Football Conference.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the end of that game. I was like, y'all really not going to score here?
Right. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out.
Next game.
Tennessee at Philadelphia. Philadelphia 35 to Tennessee's 10. We had former receiver.
He went off.
Yeah, former receiver.
Shorty went off.
Yeah, A.J. Brown from Tennessee. Man, Tennessee was so dumb letting him go. To Philly. And, of course, Jalen Hurts, 380 yards. He's one of my fantasy quarterbacks. A.J. Brown, 119 yards. Tannehill, 34 rushing. Okay, so King Henry didn't play. If you got Ryan Tannehill, your leading rusher, 34 yards. That's not good.
Especially if you're the Tennessee Titans.
At all. So yeah, without King Henry, the Titans
are dead.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I can't imagine that team without him right now, man.
Right, crazy. So
without a running game, boy.
So yeah, get well soon. Yeah, for sure. Seattle at that's why you don't always draft running backs in the first round. So Seattle at the Rams, Seattle 27 to the Rams 23.
I caught the end of this game.
NFC West matchup. We had Geno Smith, 367 passing yards.
He won that game for him.
And then Tyler Lockett, 128. So they're not. I was rooting for the Rams. Had to. Seattle showing they're not done yet, but
I was about to say it's going to come down to
they still got to come through the Bay.
It's going to come down to one game.
Yeah. So there you go. So and then that's that. So dang it, I don't feel like I'll get to the boys. I'll get to them. I'm not yet. So you got Kansas City at Cincinnati. Cincinnati 27 to Kansas City 24. Mr. Joe Burrow, 286 passing yards. Ja'Marr Chase, shout out Ja'Marr Chase, he's back with 97 reception yards. The Cincinnati Bengals have beat the Kansas City Chiefs three times in the past 12 months.
Yeah.
So maybe there is a kryptonite.
Game kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Maybe there is a kryptonite. Pat Holmes does have a kryptonite. And it's the
kryptonite was keeping Patrick Mahomes on the bench. That's how they won the game. You know,
possession.
That time of possession. You know, they kept running the ball there at the end.
And then Cincinnati, they got a decent. Their defense is still one of the better ones. Again, they just went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, they have a decent defense, but like I said, that what won them that game was at the end was keeping Patrick Mahomes on that bench, letting him watch from that bench.
Right.
That's how they won that game. But shout out to the Bengals.
So
I'm a little scared now because now I'm like, we don't got our quarterback.
And they're starting to pick it up.
And they're starting
Ja'Marr
to
Chase
just came back. So
yikes! It's a good outlook on the
we'll see how it
AFC
happens.
North.
We still got a good defense.
Yes. And then next game we have the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Las Vegas Raiders, 27
They
to
won
20.
a couple games
Raiders.
out there, month.
It's too little, too late, honestly, respectfully. We got my man's Justin Herbert, 335 passing yards. Josh Jacobs, 144 rushing yards, and Devontae Adams, 177 reception yards.
They went off.
Yes. So big time playmakers on Vegas. Hope maybe they'll try to sneak in there, but so far it has been a disappointing season for Vegas, respectfully. Okay, I'm ready. All right.
You ready?
All right. You had the Miami Dolphins visiting the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers won the game 33-17. The leading passer in the game was Tua, 295 yards. I botched that, brother. My bad. And then Christian McCaffrey with 66 rushing yards, and Tyreek Hill 146 reception yards. All right. All right. All right. So the 49ers are 8-4. Still have the best defense in the league. Statistically, when it comes to yards, when it comes to points, when it comes to averages, San Francisco 49ers have the best defense in the NFL. And defense wins
Arguably.
Defense wins championships.
Let's look that up.
Jimmy G. God dang it. Jimmy G broke his foot.
Oh damn! Is that what
He broke his foot, and as of right now, he is out for the season. So, Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Brock Purdy, he is our 7th round draft pick, rookie quarterback, and he was the last pick in the draft. So, starting the season, he was QB3. As you know, Trey Lance went out. Then Jimmy Garoppolo has another chance by the football gods, and after 12 games, he suffers injury. Thank you for all the W's. Thank you for all the great times, the great moments, Jimmy G. But
damn, you wishing him well. Is he gone?
I feel never say never. I feel we have to make a move at a big time quarterback, but if not, we bring back. I feel most likely to happen is bringing back Trey Lance, bringing back Jimmy G next year. If Jimmy G would have took us all the way to Super Bowl and won it,
How long it took to heal a broken foot?
But he said he's out for the season. We got Jimmy G. He's 31 years old. You got Tom Brady playing at 45. You got Trey Lance at 22 years old, and Brock Purdy is also 22 years old. So, and he went to Iowa State. So we got rookie quarterback leading the way for the rest of the year, and the game was not pretty, but he's not taking reps with the first team or second team being QB3, but he led the team in the scout offense, which is the practice offense against the defense, because the starting offense doesn't practice against the starting defense. The starting offense practices against practice players and third string players. The defense plays against practice players and third string players. So Broody and the team is rallying behind him, and even Fred Warner says hey, he plays against the best defense. He said it. He plays against best defense all year long. So the team has got his back. And the thing is, our team is built where the quarterback doesn't have to do everything. A lot lot of playmakers, a lot of prime time. So, moving forward, again, shout out to Jimmy G. We'll talk more about you in the off season, and we'll see how it goes. But respectfully, it's next man up. I thought we could have went to the big game with Jimmy G.
So I have to cut into the show for breaking news.
What's up? What are you talking about?
The Rams have claimed ex-Panthers QB Baker Mayfield off waivers.
Damn.
Adding depth to a QB
You called that. You did call
that has Matthew Stafford on IR.
All right, let's finish up the scores. Let's finish, yes, and then we'll get to the Rams and Baker Mayfield. Okay. So, hey, but just Jimmy G, he's been around since 2017.
So I got another question for you. How does this affect the 49ers outlook for the rest of the season, man?
Hey, we still have Pro Bowl calibers at every position, and after we made the Christian McCaffrey deal, the only, arguably respectfully, the only, if we had a weakness, it was quarterback. Now, for sure, our weakness is quarterback, but I feel the team is deep enough to.
Are you still saying Super Bowl run though?
Who's better than the 49ers in the NFC?
I mean,
if the 49ers shut down the Dolphins the way they did, Tua top 5 quarterback and top offense and all, if they could shut down Tua and the Dolphins the way they did, there's no team that they can't do that to.
I mean,
going all the way to the, like I said, Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. I'm talking about the 49ers and the 15 other teams in the NFC.
I put
the
respect.
AFC is a whole nother conversation.
I put respect on y'all defense for sure, but I'm like,
Jimmy G.
I'm like, when the going gets tough, when y'all are in that close game, who's gonna be the one to make that play?
Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel.
Somebody got to throw them the ball, though.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey done thrown the ball already. Deebo done thrown the ball already. We have a lot of well-rounded, versatile, talented players.
So, in other words, you're saying your team is so good that the quarterback doesn't matter.
What else am I supposed to say at this point? As again, we still, if we could shut down Tua, I feel we could shut down anybody on any given Sunday. And we run the ball majority of the time in short passes, short 5, 10-yard passes. We're not asking him to air it out and do all this extra stuff. West Coast offense, short passes, running the ball majority of the time. That's the game plan. Unless we bring in Josh Johnson, so he is, so
he played for the Ravens last year.
He played for the Ravens last year. He's been on like 14, 15 teams. This is his 3rd stint with the 49ers. He was with the 49ers in the Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick days. So he was around then, been around 13, 14 teams. He's back with 49ers. We claimed him off the Broncos practice squad. And, he's someone that's been familiar with the team. He was just with the 49ers maybe a couple years ago. So this would be his 3rd stint. So you need a QB2. You know what I mean? And Prudy was the last quarterback on the, active, not just on the roster, not just in spirit, but actually suited up, ready to go. I could go on free agents that I'd love for the 49ers to look at because it wouldn't hurt to have another quarterback in that locker room. You know what I mean? Because you got young fella, Prudy. He broke a lot of records at his college. He got drafted to the NFL. First Mr. Irrelevant player, which means last pick in the draft, to throw a touchdown pass ever. So
wait, he's the what?
First player drafted last, Mr. Irrelevant, to throw a touchdown pass in the NFL. So shout out Brock, man. All right, shout out the 49ers. That's it's heartbreaking. It's a tough pill to swallow that Jimmy G's out for the season. That's all I'm saying. So it's hard to, it's a mix. The win comes with mixed emotions for sure. So all right, moving on. Okay, shout out to 49ers. See you on the Super Bowl. All right, the Colts at the Cowboys 54-19.
Let me talk my shit. Let's see. Nah, I can't even lie. Cowboys is winning.
No, I saw like at least 2-3 picks. I watched a little bit of the game.
They looking.
I was gonna ask you if you want to go to that game. I saw tickets like $20.
Oh shit!
Colts and Cowboys. I meant to ask you, but yeah, I did saw that. Yeah,
I might have went there.
Yeah, the tickets is like $20-$30, legit.
But yeah, let's look at some of these stats real quick.
So everybody got on the board, and speaking on the Cowboys and Dallas and all that, everybody's favorite free agents, wide receiver, Odell Beckham was spotted at the Dallas Mavericks game last night with current Cowboy players Michael Parsons and traded. What? How you say that? Diggs.
Trayvon
Diggs. So he's free agent, hanging out with the Cowboys. It's looking like Odell Beckham is signing with the Cowboys. It's all but official. I think the Bills would have been a better chance for him to get the Super Bowl. The Giants would have been, a beautiful homecoming. But I think, respectfully, like the outside looking in, the Cowboys are better than the Giants. I think the Cowboys are better.
This is what I'll say. So you may disagree, but I think in a matchup right now,
yeah,
the Dallas Cowboys do make a very great matchup for the 49ers.
Stop that, bro. I don't want to talk about hypotheticals right now when the 49ers beat the Cowboys last year in the playoffs.
They did, but
I don't even want to talk about Cowboy dreams right now.
If
respectfully,
if the 49ers had the best defense in the NFL, I'm going to make a strong case to say that the Cowboys have the second or third best.
Cowboys do have top five. I'll say hands down top five defense. The defense is winning them a lot of games. Michael Parsons is in the conversation of defense player of the year.
So
he is. Oh yeah, he is.
In a defensive battle, I feel like they just have a little bit of edge on offense on y'all. They do.
With Jimmy G going down and them having Dak Prescott,
I got their offense
duh,
more likely to put up some points than y'all's.
I mean, god dang it,
they just scored 54 points. But that's half the defense. Like again, the defense scored like 2-3 touchdowns. Type.
Well, no.
Who did? No. That's the defense.
Because my guy Tony Pollard got 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott got 1 touchdown, and CeeDee Lamb got a touchdown. Michael Gallup's got 2 touchdowns. So they really blew it.
5 times 7, that's 35.
I mean, it was some offense.
No, there's some defense in there too.
There's some defense in there
there's got to be pick six. That's my point. There's at least one pick six.
Yeah, there's a pick six in there. But, I mean, there was definitely some offense in there.
Well, there was a lack of offense and defense from Indianapolis.
Right.
So that's that. Let's not get too carried away.
Damn. Good old Matt Ryan.
It's not like we did this on any Pro Bowl players. We did it against the Colts.
I'm just saying. I'm not always the biggest screamer to the heavens about the Cowboys, but I'm not gonna hate on them when they're actually playing well. I'm gonna give them their props, and we gonna see what's gonna happen.
They're gonna win the division. No, they're not. The Eagles are. They're gonna go to the playoffs. They do have a high seed, but they may be visiting a team that has a worse record than them.
More than likely.
I think if this playoff started today, they play the Vikings. Oh, here we go. We got a comment.
To my knowledge and time that I put into this season, I'm no expert. I can't. Shout out
Justice. That's Justice,
shout
right?
out to Justice.
Shout out Justice. Oh, how much time we got left? We go about. Okay, I gotta say the Justice. It was Justice's birthday recently.
Drop it.
It was Thanksgiving. I got the Justice story. Okay, shout out Justice. It's how I met Justice. Justice saved my life. So Thanksgiving just passed. So last Thanksgiving, I met Justice on last Thanksgiving. We had the shout out Big Homie CEO. Always looking to give back. Feeding the homeless, all that. A bunch of never satisfied in the building, all that. So we're there. We help out. I eat, right? I eat, you know what I'm saying? It's food, we did the thing. We're eating. So this is the day before Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday. Last year, not this year, last year. And then Big Homie was like, hey, I'm about to go to this thing. Shout out Double R CEO. and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to go to this thing. I'm about to be a judge, a celebrity judge for this thing." He's like, "You and Ray Measy gonna come with me and do it." I'm like, "Okay," and that is basically eating some hot wings, right? Some hot wings, and then from P&J, right? Is that what they call it? P&J.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Hot chick.
Hot chick. Yep. Hot chick off of Northwest. Right. So we go in there and they had the thing and they say you got to eat 3 strips. And I already ate. So, but big homie's like, yeah, I'll have you do it. So eat 3 strips within 10 minutes. You got the ghost peppers, whatever, one of the highest you can think of. He's talking about $3,000 and a PS5. I said, bro, this is Christmas early. Like, I had to do it, right? I had to do it. I was like, man, I could do this. I was like, I wish I didn't eat before, but I was like, man, I could do this. And then they had water, and every time you sip water, it takes $100 off of the 3,000, right? So, me and Ray Measy do it. I do it first. I finish one, and then they give you milk, and you're out of there. You're out of there. So I saw, and then you purging a little bit, throwing up. You're doing that. And then, so it was me and Ray Measy. We all that. Me and Ray Measy were out of there. But I had to attempt for $3,000 in a PS5. I'm not saying that not anyone would do it, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? I was
That chicken must have been hot.
I was like, let me go through 10, 20, 30 minutes of pain, torture, hell to get this $3,000 and a PS5. Okay, cool, right?
How much chicken was it?
It was 3 strips, like 3 big old strips, like not like little chicken, like big old strips, right? And then I finished one, and then we're purging this and that, we're done. And so we're leaving. So Justice there, big homie's there. So we're leaving, and then shout out Justice. And then we come back to the studio, and I was cool on the way to the studio and this and that. And the next thing you know, my stomach hurting.
You need some milk.
I need some milk. I'm over here. I'm all the studio, the whole studio, me and Ray Measy. Respect, I was here throwing up, shirt off. I was laying outside in the grass,
sweating,
everything. Like I was like, I don't want to eat no time soon. And Thanksgiving was the next day. I was like, man, why'd I do that? I was like, man, and my stomach was toe up. You know, I thought I was gonna be able to eat Thanksgiving and all that. I was laying outside in the grass, not giving a care in the world. Justice looked out for me that whole night. The day I meet him. Shout out to motherfucking Justice.
He said, if you would have died from that mother effing chicken challenge, I would have been scarred for life.
Yeah. So yeah. That's how I met Justice. So past few episodes, I shout out Justice.
He said Mr. Radio put a homeless sign on your back and took a picture while you were dying.
I don't remember. Yeah, it was like I was.
That's how intense that joint was.
That was probably the closest to death I felt. Like legit. Like one of the top 5 moment closest to death. Like legit. Sweating out of there. Okay, shout out Justice. Okay, that's my Justice story. He made sure I was all right. I stayed at the studio. I was right. I was out of there.
All right.
And then I had Thanksgiving the next day, so it all worked out.
I think we got 1 or 2 more games here.
Okay, bet. Okay, we'll get started. Okay, and then the Monday night game. I saw this last night. The Saints and the Bucks. Did you watch this?
I watched some of it.
Okay, let me tell you.
I was irritated at that point.
Yeah, let me tell you about the end. So the game was 17-16. It was about 3 minutes left. It was like 5 minutes left. The Saints were up 16-3. Good old Tom Brady scores not 1 but 2 touchdowns at the end. Not 1 but 2 touchdowns at the end, and he came back and won the game. And he threw that last touchdown with at least
to that running back. I got him in fantasy.
Right. Who's they? I don't know.
Rashad White.
Well, okay, I don't know that. Yeah, Fournette and okay, so he's our RB2 over there. So Andy Dalton still the Saints quarterback. They were looking. That was a big game for the Saints. If they would have won that, they would have at least tied first in the division. But Tampa Bay is starting to look like the favorites, even though they have they are a 500 team.
So what's
and they play the 49ers next week.
What's going on with Tom Brady and this? It's back to New England.
Oh yeah. You look that up, man. Yeah, look that up. Yeah, New England about to have like a bunch of cap space next year, and they said look for them to make a run at him.
At Tom Brady though.
How crazy that'd be, bro.
Tom Brady sends Clear message. Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady may be 45, but he proved he's still capable of inspiring wins at the last drive against the New Orleans Saints. I'm trying to find the New England part. Man, who say he's going to the Brady and Bill Belichick have still abundance of respect. Man, this don't mean that he's going back there, though.
No,
but they do got a lot of cap space, though.
They said it's possible, and they said there's already reports of it. That's what I'm saying. It could happen. Should he do it? Like, people, that's in writing. It's like people are saying it.
Man.
People are speculating it.
Tom Brady need to retire, bro.
Then he needs to retire then. But
he's not.
But if he don't, right? Okay, but if he don't, right? Is maybe if he don't, he's leaving Tampa Bay. He's leaving. Okay, so if he doesn't retire,
that's what might come to the 49ers.
Right. So exactly. So he free agent, and best believe 49ers is gonna make it right on him. If Jimmy G's a free agent, you know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna call Tom Brady as well. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So shout out Tom Brady. Come home. Somebody come home.
Somebody come home.
Start at quarterback.
But yeah, that's all of our games.
That's all of our games. So shout out to the season. Okay. Time check. We'll run by this fantasy 5-10 minutes and close it out. All right.
And I got last words for the day.
Oh, shake your head. Shout out, Matt. Okay. So in my primary league, my 10-year league I've been in, I just won. Okay.
Big winners and losers.
Shout out to my man's Big Hans. I won 120-77. I had big performances from Justin Hurts, 34 fantasy points. Stephon Diggs, 18 fantasy points. Ezekiel Elliott, 16 fantasy points. Jamar Chase, 13 fantasy points. And so big. And I benched the 49ers defense, and they had 18 fantasy points. So that's that. So moving on, and I'm still in first place standings. I'm tied with first place at 10-3. I'm projected second, but I'm in it to win it, of course. Okay, now moving on to our league. We had a Ghost going against Donnie. Ghost had 154 to Donnie's 136. He had 50 fantasy points from Jalen.
That boy.
Right. Barkley with 18 fantasy points. Jefferson with 18 fantasy points. So that's his big three. That's a solid big three. You know, and then D. Smith with 21 in his flex. You know, Donnie with Geno Smith starting 37 fantasy points. Cook 16 fantasy points. St. Brown off Detroit 34 fantasy points. We Matt taking the L this week to Dade County. Shorette. They had 117 to Matt's 98, and he had 0 points from his quarterback and his tight end on a bye.
I had a bad week
and still got the W against Matt. Matt had Pat Mahomes 26, White 16, Fant 14. But he had a big performance with Devontae Adams at 37 fantasy points, Swift with 20 fantasy points, McLaren 24 fantasy points. So now in the league, you got I'm in the Eastern Conference. Me and Ghost are both tied at 8-5 in first place. And in the Western Conference, we got Matt at 7-6 in second place in the West.
I'm still in this thing.
And then we got Donnie at tied at fifth place at 5-8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is out of 14 teams. So yeah, 8-5. Check me out. 8-5. Three win winning streak. Oh, Rican's on 9. So that is that. 118. So
my statement for the day I wanted to get off my chest was,
here we go. Speak on it.
Back to the Deion Sanders thing.
Oh yikes! We're gonna start it with Deion and close with Deion. Let's.
People should be ashamed of themselves for calling him a sellout.
Damn. Let's not.
Deion Sanders.
Read the comments, bro. It sucks.
Deion Sanders don't
it's
owe you ninjas ish.
He don't owe nobody nothing.
He don't owe you ninjas ish.
He didn't even have to come to Jackson at all.
He didn't. So,
And he was there 3 years and brought his sons.
and plus he
Contributed to the program, done brought a lot of celebrity, a lot of notoriety to that college, to that city, to those people.
and when he took the job, he said, if they come with the bag, I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna entertain it. He said that.
It's day one.
Day one.
But as he should.
So
As he should.
but yeah, you know what I'm saying? And plus
Nobody this is yours, I'm sure.
ain't no black coaches like that out there anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love for Deion Sanders, but stop trying to call people a sellout because they not doing something with your ass. You know what I'm saying? That was my last word of the day.
Well, no doubt. No, I agree, 1,000%. Like I said, I hate that Deion caught any criticism, but that's emotions. People hate to see it. You thought Deion was going to be there
Forever.
5, 8, 10 years, something. You thought he was going to be there a long time. Like, yo, they was on TV a lot. Shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
That's it.
All right, here we go. It is closing out the show around 3:30 Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 22. Shout out to all our sponsors and partners. We have Never Satisfied Studios. Check us out. Been around a long time, 10 plus years holding it down. Shout out to the studio, Studio A, Studio B, all the engineers, artists, personnel, front desk,
Everybody.
overall, everybody in the building. And along with the CEO, of course, without Double R, there is no studio. So shout out to Double R. And so that's that. Shout out to the clothing line. Shout out to the clothing line. Shop Never Satisfied.
And Flyboy.
And Flyboy. Hold that. Flyboy is big quiz. He's a big part of the clothing department, the fashion department nowadays. He's transformed it. He's added a lot of value. He's doing a lot of things. So shout out to you. Keep on doing what you're doing, sir. So shout out to the clothing line. Shout out to Bistro 808. I think we got an event coming on the 12th.
We do.
Right. Right. It's
12th of December.
It's coming up. Yeah.
It's a hub.
Yeah, the hub, of course. The hub, baby,
Okay.
all them. So yeah, Bistro 808. Check us out. International cuisine. Shout out to everybody at the restaurant.
Shout out to
Calio's Tacos. He said the merch is on the way for me and Matt. He says he's not going to give us shirts. He's going to give us hoodies.
Okay.
To wear on the show. So shout out Calio's Tacos, the best food truck in all of Dallas-Fort Worth. Originally from South Central Los Angeles and the IE, bringing those talents all the way here to Dallas, Texas.
D.
Shout out big homie Cali for sure. Okay, shout out to Everything is Both the movie coming 2023. Shout out to Dynasty the movie coming 2023.
And I think that's it.
No, I've always felt like I'm forgetting something.
Shout out to Never Satisfied Music Group.
The music, the music. Everyone
Like,
here.
subscribe.
All the shows. Never Satisfied. The Smoke Detector with
Shit
the
Outta
23. Shit I don't know.
Time Out Podcast. We
Everybody, Time Out. Everybody. DJ Kev.
So yeah.
DJ Kev. Shout out everybody. So that's what I forgot. So shout out everybody at the studio contributing to the Never Satisfied channel. To the top we go. Shout out everybody. Appreciate everybody here for sure.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and tune in next week.
Yeah, we're closing out episode 22. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Normal Guys Talk Sports.
Yeah, we
Have
about
a
to
good
get
week,
back
everybody.
into a rhythm.
Appreciate y'all.
For us, y'all.